Yes, there is Christian genocide in Nigeria.
Hello, you are welcome to this class. Since when Trump talk say make Nigeria government move fast and deal with the terrorists, we never hear word from many cycles. Some people talk say there is no genocide. Which genocide? You wan come kill us? Trump talk say deal with terrorists. Terrorists, Trump say make dem kpai, no be Muslims. Nigerian army deal with terrorists. For inside Nigerian army, we have Christians, Muslims, and non-religious people. Una dey the military deal with terrorists. Some people don carry am for their head say, once you say you wan call Nigeria, call kpai terrorists, we need to use wan kpai us to blackmail this man. But no be that one carry me come this class. Wetin carry me come this class? Na some Muslims wey dey Nigeria wey talk say abeg Mr. Trump come fast. Then they kill Christians anyhow. Some Muslims they agree with Trump say there is genocide against Christians in the Middle Belt, in the north, in Nigeria. But I say if I only present those ones and not present the other ones, people go talk say you are biased. So in this class, I go also show you some people, pastors, wey talk say there is no genocide. Say na resources these eyes dey look for Nigeria. So in this class, we will see everything. So we go check for and against Christian genocide in Nigeria. Those who say there is genocide, those who talk say there is no genocide. Look at this report. No Christian genocide in Nigeria. Council for Islamic Affairs. I no wan talk too much. See wetin this Muslim from the south, precisely Yoruba, they talk about this statement wey dem make. Listen.
I think that statement from the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs is not only irresponsible, it is callous, it is insensitive, lacking in empathy and common sense of logical reasoning. And it's so unfortunate that the apex body of the Muslim community in Nigeria, headed by the Sultan of Sokoto, who is supposed to be the Seriki Muslimi or the leader of Muslims in Nigeria and even in Niger, can issue such a statement at this time, at a time that we are supposed to be having a national reflection, particularly among the Muslim community, as to how come it is our demography, our own divide, our own side of the divide, that has produced the twin problem that Nigeria is battling hard to contain, which is Boko Haram on one hand and banditry on the other hand. This is not the time to be hypocritical, to be insincere. This is not the time to play the ostrich. If anything at all is going to threaten the national unity of Nigeria, it is not Trump's statement. It is this very statement that has been issued by the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. It's mark of complicity on their part. And if I must say, on the part of those of us that are Muslims, when you issue a statement that is so insensitive to the plight of our Christian brethren, it is unfortunate. I did not imagine that this can come out of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. I've heard Shegumi and some other people making statements. It wasn't something I was bothered about because I felt that they don't represent the organized, the collective body that represents Muslims in Nigeria. But when this statement came out of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, I was not only embarrassed as a Muslim, I was ashamed of myself. I felt that we have taken a logic, we have taken echo chamber rhetorics to the height of it, to the highest level of ridicule. And this is nothing but an image battering statement for the Muslim community in Nigeria. Trump again did not say he was going to fight Muslims on behalf of Christians. He said he was coming to fight terrorists that are killing Christians. Why is the Muslim community in Nigeria up in arms against such a proposition? Are we the ones killing Christians? Are we supporting the terrorists to kill Christians? Can Muslims actually endure crusader Christian groups rising up to kill Muslims in targeted manner? Is it possible for Muslims to sit down and accept it? Kofi, let me give you a good example. In this same country, recently, 16 northern Muslim hunters were hunted down in Urumi because their identity was mistaken to be bandits, right? The entire Muslim north was up in arms against the Edo State government and its people. It took Okpebolo, the governor of Edo, to go and practically kneel down to appease both the family, the state government, and other critical stakeholders in the north. For the tune of 16 people. The North took a special exception to it. I didn't hear the Supreme Court for Islamic Affairs making this statement to say, no, it's part of the ongoing crisis in the country that consumed these 16 people. No. It was a special case. It was a specially mentioned case because those who killed them are of different demography. They are Southerners and they are Christians. I also remember vividly when the woman Fatima was killed in Anambra by IPOB elements along with her 4 children. The Anambra State government had to go the extra mile to appease both the family, the other community in Anambra State, and the entire country by showing the seriousness with which the government takes that killing, even when IPOB elements were killing hundreds, if not thousands of Igbo people in Anambra State. You recall, Kofi, a year or 2 ago, there was an attack on a northern dominated market in Ibadan, if you recall. When that attack happened in Ibadan, and most of the casualties were northerners, a delegation of northerners came to Oyo State to ask questions why. Northern governors of predominantly Muslim states, whose people were targeted, came to Ibadan to ask questions. The governors of the southwest, led by then Akeredolu late now, had to take the initiative to rein in their people, made arrests just to pacify the north. It happened in this country.
All right. Okay.
So when Christians now complain that jihadi groups that are Muslim in outlook, bandits or killer headsmen that are Muslim in outlook, are killing them, and the numbers are rising to genocidal proportion, a group like Supreme Court for Islamic Affairs should be more concerned about the fact that people within their demography have gone this level of rogue to the point that Nigeria is battling insecurity that emanates from your own demography. Boko Haram members are Muslims. Bandits are Muslims. That should be a concern to the Sultan of Sokoto, who should be at this point be at the forefront of carrying out the necessary reforms that will roll back radicalization and indoctrination that has led to jihadism in Nigeria. But he's playing the ostrich. I am so disappointed in him as a Muslim. I'm so disappointed. And I want to call on the government. Enough of this politics. President Tinubu should sit up and stop playing politics with the lives of Nigerians. Okay. By this morning, I should have expected that they should have called in the officials of the Supreme Court for Islamic Affairs for questioning by security agencies. And that should include the Sultan himself. The federal government cannot be making consolatory statements towards the international community. And they are here making provocative statements, asking Trump to take a statement. How do you reconcile that? They need to be reined in. They need to be cautioned. And I think Sultan should be giving stern warning never to make such a statement again on national security. If he doesn't want it to say, let him keep his mouth shut through his Supreme Court for Islamic Affairs. This nonsense must not continue. It must stop. Enough is enough.
You don't hear us so. The truth must set us free. Next, now be this pastor. Formerly, he was a Muslim. He lived in the north. He saw everything koro. Let's listen to him.
So 1992-93 in Kaduna, a riot broke out which they call the Zango Kataf riot. I was a young boy, very, very young then. And people were killed in scores. If you are not an Afsa person practicing Muslim in Islam, they were killed. Especially if you are from the southern part of Kaduna, the tribes from the southern part of Kaduna, they were massacred. It was called the Zango Kataf riot. And if the next thing they do is to burn churches, kill Christians, and then if they are done with that, then they focus on businesses that is for Igbo people, Igbo owned businesses, and they destroy it. I grew up knowing that Christians are endangered species in Nigeria. In the year 2000, when the Sharia riot, how many of you have heard of the Sharia riot? Hundreds of thousands of people were killed in Kaduna. I can remember vividly that we had to defend our house from people. They brought some Fulani boys and they faced our house. They were shooting arrows. They were stoning our zinc. They spot our zinc, shooting arrows. Even though I was a Muslim then. Even though my father was a Muslim then. But because majority of the people in our compound were Christians, so they were willing to destroy every one of us because we were living with Christians. I can remember a particular church in Mando, for those that know Mando, in Kaduna, called Chapel of Redemption. That church was destroyed. And so from that time, anytime there's a little hanky-panky in Nigeria, the first target is churches and Christians. And this has prevailed for a long time. That even if there's a problem with in another country, the Muslim and the Hausas in Nigeria will rise up and begin to kill Christians. How many of you remember the Miss World crisis in 2002, 2001, 2002? That somebody threw a picture of Muhammad or something in France, long away in France, and they began to fight in Nigeria. Are you following me? Christians are endangered species. Now let me give you, and that's how it has continued. Scores have been killed, and they focus on regions where there is a mixture of both Christianity and Islam. If you look at states like Kaduna, states like Plateau State, states like Nasarawa, states like Taraba, states like Benue, states like Bauchi, states like Gombe, states like Borno. These are places where they focus on because they intend to eliminate every living Christian in that place. Anybody that deboned it is a total lie because I have grown and lived in the north. I've spent 80 to 80% of my life in the north, so I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our lives. Even though we're Muslims, but we're still running because as far as you are not of that ethnic group, practicing what they practice, you are a victim. You can be burnt alive. Many of us saw human beings that were burnt alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about there, he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was the one that led the mob, and they beheaded him, they killed the woman. They killed him and they put his head on the stake and they were using it to parade the city. You understand of a woman also that is an evangelist. An evangelist Eunice that was preaching about 2016 or 18 in Abuja. And they killed her. We cannot talk about a young girl called Deborah Samuel that was killed. I schooled in Jos, and for years, the people of Plateau have been massacred. Riot breaking out every single time. The word that the moment anything happens, the next people that are victims are Christians. And it is unfortunate that all these years the government have not been able to do anything about it. But the agenda is deep. Are you with me this morning? Why am I saying? Because I don't want us to be an ignorant people. If we're ignorant people, they'll control the narrative. And this is, let me tell you this truth. God will not come and fight for you. Remove that thing from your mind. If Christians don't rise up, pray from now till tomorrow. God is not coming to fight for you. Are you with me? Now, in the year 2009, Boko Haram started. Boko Haram started because of a section. It was a political movement. They created Boko Haram as a political talks to bring confusion into the government of Goodluck Jonathan, and to be able to destroy any opposition, starting from Borno State, under the watch of a man called Kashim Shettima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria. Kashim Shettima and the other man, Ali Mohammed Sharif. These were the people that started the business of Boko Haram as a political talks to be able to oppose their opponents. But after a time, the ideology grew and they began to destroy. Now, it became a problem and they began to use it to destroy, bombing here and there. In 2009, 2010. As of 2010, a man led a meeting in Jos. Are you with me? He led a meeting that they were going to annihilate Christians within the locality of Plateau, Plateau, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. And he said they are going to perform jihad. They will bring jihad and they will go to kill that. If the Islamic leaders are not willing to lead them, he is ready to lead the movement. I have the minute of that meeting in my phone presently. Guess who is that person? It's Pantami, that was the former minister of communication under Buhari's regime. And several times, these are people that are terrorist sympathizers. And that is why the Nigerian army have not been able to win the war against the terrorism. Because people have, the terrorists have infiltrated the Nigerian ranks, the army ranks, so they cannot win the war. That said, Osama bin Laden was a better Muslim than he is. It was sad when Osama bin Laden was killed. And I said it several times that Boko Haram should not be killed. He said they are Muslim brothers. How do you win a war against terrorism when there are people high in government that are sympathizers to terrorism? How do you win that war? Now, there are 4 categories of insecurity or people that are causing insecurity. Number 1, you have Boko Haram. Number 2, you have bandits. Number 3, you have Fulani herdsmen. Now I'm going to show you how they are connected. Many people don't know. The Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen have one mission. The mission is simple: Islamize Nigeria. Come to a territory that are Christian dominated, kill everybody there, occupy their land. Go to Benue, look for a community, kill them there, occupy their land. That's always me. Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen. Have you noticed that Fulani herdsmen they don't kidnap, they kill? There's hardly a place you hear that Fulani herdsmen capture that they say these are Fulani herdsmen. No, when they go, they kill. How do they kill? They kill with guns. You must now ask yourself, how does a Fulani man get AK-47? Do you know the cost of one AK-47? One AK-47 is over $1,000 something. Where will a Fulani man be able to obtain to be able to get one AK-47? Are you with me? And now, so you will know that there are people that are sponsoring this movement. Then the Boko Haram and the Fulani, they go about Christian-dominated areas. You will understand that when this terrorism started in Nigeria, that only people that were killed were Christian churches. You will not hear that they kill anyone. It is Christians and churches. I remember in Kaduna then, that churches began to look for security men to guide their churches in every service day. Otherwise, you can be in church and then the next is boom, everybody dies. And churches that don't have money to hire soldiers began to use some of their members. I was a member of the security team in my church in Deeper Life in Kaduna in 2010. Because we don't stay in the church. Once I come to the church in the morning, we stay outside, moving around patrolling, because anybody can come and drop anything. So when Boko Haram started, the majority of Muslims, the Hausa, Northern Muslims, they were happy. I know people that were celebrating it. If you see them crying today, I'll tell you why. At the initial beginning of this thing, they were happy celebrating the killings of Christians. They said they are purging Nigeria of army. It was majorly of Christians and Christian-dominated areas. But when it comes to 2014, the man Buhari and APC that wanted to overthrow the government of Jonathan, by all means, decided to employ mercenaries from Niger, from Chad, from all those Fulani, from other African nations where they're from, and they brought them into Nigeria. What was the goal? The goal was that if Jonathan does not concede defeat in the election, they were going to rain hell on Nigeria. So they brought in these mercenaries. And they equipped them with rifles, the Aerofiles, the Buharis. Are you with me? The Aerofiles, the Buharis. Every one of these people called APC, they brought in mercenaries and armed them in the bushes and told them to wait. The moment Goodluck Jonathan did not concede defeat in the election, they were going to start. But unfortunately for them, Goodluck knew of the assignment. He got intel about it because the man said his ambition does not worth the blood of millions. So the man conceded defeat and left. And so they declared APC winner. Now, you have already brought people from different parts to come and fight. But what they wanted to come and fight for did not achieve anymore. So now they left those people in the bush. They left them with guns and ammunition in the bush. And when Buhari became the president, he abandoned them. Instead of them to settle them and let them go back, they abandoned them. And the people saw Nigeria as a place that is good. And the people decided to remain in Nigeria. Those are the people that started bandits. Before, we don't have anything like bandits. Banditry started under the watch of APC, under Buhari, because they were the ones that brought them in. Kidnapping, because they needed to survive. So they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. Over time, now, you understand that there are certain parts of this nation where there are mineral resources. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Follow me. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Don't be in a nation where you don't have understanding of what is happening. Now, there are some parts of Nigeria where there are good resources. And so, and this is have been illegally mined by elites, the military generals, the oligarchs, the people that are the leadership of the North. They were mining these resources, and the money does not go into the federal government account. So what they do is that they employ the services of this banditry to create two things. Number one, to create diversion. So when you go to Zamfara, that's why you hear that they say there is killing in Zamfara now. It's because of the illegal gold mine. There is gold in Zamfara that they are mining. And so these bandits that are already in the bush, some people collaborate with them, partnered with them, and told them to see, keep creating confusion, create chaos. When you keep creating chaos, the Nigerian state and the people of Nigeria will not be able to focus on the illegal mining. They'll be concerned about the insecurity. So the insecurity is created as a means of diversion in the north. Are you following me? It is created as a means of diverting the attention of the military and the Nigerian populace from being able to focus on the illegal mining of resources. And any part of the north where there is resource, you find that insecurity there. Recently, it has started in Kwara because there's a great amount of lithium in Kwara too that they have discovered and they're mining. So they partner with the Chinese because the people that does this illegal mining are the Chinese. They partner with the Chinese to be able to. So the bandits became the security men of the Chinese and all those people to protect them. So that while they're mining, they can begin to cause chaos. Because while the people are mining and they're causing chaos, they're kidnapping, nobody will be able to focus on what the Chinese are doing and those people illegal mining. Every single day to this moment, I'm telling you, they're mining in those places. And they'll take it to an airfield in the bush and fly it out of Nigeria. They're making billions of dollars from it every day. Why people are being killed. That is why you now hear that Muslims are saying that they're killing Muslims too. What you have, it is what Buhari created. The APC-led administration created. The banditry they created is what is affecting the north now. Because the people they brought to come and kill Nigeria in 2015 did not succeed because good luck relinquished power to them. And now the people have become thugs. They have become tools to be used in the hand of men that are using them to secure their illegal gold mines. And that's why you kill them. That's why you hear that they say they're killing Muslims. Now, the Christian persecution and genocide has been there. So you find out that the other part, the Muslim and the Fulani keep going around killing in all those parts. And the Christians and the churches have been silent for too long. This evil has prevailed in Nigeria because the righteous men have been too quiet. If we're ever going to win against insecurity in Nigeria must put two things Nigeria must do. Number one, Sharia law must be completely abolished in Nigeria. Because Nigeria is not an Islamic state. Why will Nigeria, some part of Nigeria, be practicing Sharia? The law guiding them, the constitutional law, that believe that if somebody deserves to die because he speaks against his God. Can a house man insult Jesus and I kill him for insulting Jesus? But somebody believes when you speak against Muhammad, you deserve to die. How do you live in a country with somebody that has that kind of mentality? The military have become complicit. They are compromised. Nigerian military cannot win this war. 20 years from today, I'm telling you, 20 years from today, this thing of insecurity will not end because there are people that are enjoying it, benefiting from it, and reaping from it. If Nigeria want to win this war, partner with America. Let them come and meet them. I'm not sure I've seen that in Kano yesterday. Some people were protesting that they don't want America to come. Because they believe what they have been told is that America is coming to kill Muslims. And the man said he wants to come and kill terrorists. But they are protesting. Anybody that is negotiating, people like Ahmed Gumi, Sheikh Gumi should be locked away. A terrorist sympathizer is a terrorist. A man that believes that you're not supposed to kill a terrorist is himself a terrorist. A man that believes that we should go and negotiate. How do you go and negotiate with terrorists? Because you see, terrorists are not just criminals. They are working with the wrong ideology. A man that believes that killing is, he has nothing to lose. How do you negotiate with a man that believes that killing himself is going to meet their God in heaven to collect 72 virgins? How do you negotiate with such a person? A man like Sheikh Gumi should be locked away. A man like Ali Muhammad Buhari should be arrested. You want to win against terrorism, you must go brutal. No nation win against terrorism by pampering them. The custom is taking rice, seizing rice from Nigeria and taking it to terrorists in the bush that they need to take care of them because they're human beings. No. The moment you become a terrorist, you see that taking the life of your fellow human being is nothing, is to please a God, then you don't deserve to live. Children of God, I'm not going to ask you to pray because this is not a period of prayer. This is a period of action. Reverend Dr. Ezekiel from Jos, the man have been speaking, I've paid attention. Not for once have they invited the man for interview because they don't want to give the man any airtime. But you see, any little thing they will call Gumi and give him microphone. Gumi, they're inviting Gumi up and down. The media is complicit. The Nigerian military are complicit. You can't win war with this Nigerian army, not because they don't have the capacity, but because they are compromised. Buhari created banditry. The people like Gumi and the rest of them, they are the people that facilitated the idea of Boko Haram. And today, some of them are your leaders in government. Some of them, most of them are moving free. Not one have been arrested. Kabiru Sokoto that bombed Nyanyan in 2011. When they rearrested him, guess where they caught him? In the house of Shetima in Abuja. What is he doing in the house of Shetima if Shetima doesn't know him? But today, Shetima is your vice president. How do you win a war where terrorists are ruling you? Where terrorist sympathizers are moving around? This is not a period to say we are praying. No! This is a period of wisdom. This is a period of action. Churches in the south have no idea. They sit in their cozy churches with employ them. They don't know what it means to be in the north. They don't know what it means to be running for life. That every Sunday in the church here in Kaduna, when they say let us pray, everyone is praying with one eye open. Because you don't know God might go up at any time in the church. The Nigerian church must rise up. There's an agenda. And if you read the minutes of that meeting, it was led by Isa Batami, you will not believe it. I have a recording of his messages. Where's some people say, why would they be killing their people? He said, why would they be killing his Muslim brothers, referring to Boko Haram as their Muslim brothers? How do you win with such a people in government? And that guy was a minister under Buhari for 8 years. Do you know what I'm telling you this morning? You are in Nigeria. If you are not aware of what is happening around you, in a short time, one day your calamity will just come. You will not know how. Are you with me? The banditry that is destroying them in the north was created by the people Buhari brought for mercenaries to destroy Nigeria in 2015 in case he did not win. Unfortunately, he won, and those people were left without fight. And they began to use the weapons they have been provided for. These guys have sophisticated weapon. They move logistics, move money in dollars. Where do you think they're getting it from? You think it's from the sale of cow? No. The Bible says, watch and pray. We have been praying. This is the time to do what? To watch.
Does he answer? Next, let's listen to a Fulani man who is also a Muslim. Make we hear what he talk. He talk say, "May Mr. Trump bring his soldier fast. Say they buy Christians anyhow for Nigeria." You need to listen very well so that you go understand it. Now, let's see.
Yes, there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. If we take a look at what is happening in Plateau State, what is happening in Benue State, Taraba and others. But why the Christian communities or some of the Christians decide to appeal to the United States of America? Because they know they are right. And maybe the involvement of President Trump will help even we Muslims that are not terrorists and that we are against these Fulani herdsmen and what they were doing. Maybe we will get peace in the future. Because we are the most target of terrorists. But we show that those terrorists are still our brothers. This is what most of the Islamic clerics and Islamic scholars here in northern part of Nigeria are saying in their mosques. This is the truth. Even the federal government doesn't have any target, doesn't have any plan till today to fight those Fulani herdsmen. And the action which President Trump will take, this is a great action. This is a great action someone has ever taken against terrorism. Today, if Fulani herdsmen enter into your farm, when you say, "Hey, why did you enter into my farm?" their response is to weaponize themselves with arms, knife, or even AK-47 attacks and kill you in your own property. This is what they were doing. This is the pact. So what Christians have said, yes, there is Christian genocide. Many Christians have been killed by those Fulani herdsmen. I welcome the United States or America into Nigeria if their goal is to eliminate those terrorist groups, because Nigerian government is not ready to do that. It's not ready. This is the real what is happening. No one has rights in this country than Fulani people. I don't know why. I am their blood. But what is happening is no religion. Islam doesn't have anything to do with those Fulani herdsmen. Any group of terrorism, they will just claim the name of Islam to badname the Islam, to badname the Holy Prophet. And they don't even know how to pray. They were not fasting, but they will say they are Fulani. They are Muslims. So I'm not against President Trump. This is the truth. And I have one advice to the United States government. You have to investigate clearly. There is politicians in the north, Fulani politicians that were linked and connected with those terrorist groups. They are helping them. They are in many ways. In many, many ways. We see them together. They were negotiating. No one will welcome you to the government house, but you will see a governor welcoming a terrorist group to the government house. And after 3 days, they will start attacking every village, killing innocent life. Why? We have to stand and speak the truth what is going on. They know their right. As we Muslims, we don't know our right. If we know our right, we are the first people to stand up against those people and to appeal to everywhere to this, in this world that we need help. So let them do it. They have right to do it. We are the people who are supposed to do this. We didn't do it. Many of us looking at those Fulani herdsmen as their own Muslim brothers. They were not. This is the reality. You can assassinate me. You can do whatever you want. If you never stop this, your mentality. Looking at terrorists who's shedding the human blood like mosquito. If you never stop claiming them your own brothers, Islam will never get peace. This is the truth. This is the only truth. In my stage, before Boko Haram start killing everybody, when they start bombing the churches. Most of us people were happy of what they were doing. They're destroying the Christian churches. We are saying, yes, they did well. After they finished with the churches, they turned to the mosque, killing thousands and thousands of people. We didn't do anything. We are asking those corrupted leaders to come and fight against terrorists. Will they do that? While they are using those terrorists as the shields, and they were using them in their political system. So if you, the United States, will support to eliminate those Fulani terrorist group, I'm happy with that. And secondly, our main problem in northern Nigeria is Izala. There is one Izala Tibide Committee Sunnah, an Islamic group. Those people are the first people to preach in a wrong way that made people carrying weapons turned against their brothers until today. And most of them are linked to that terrorist. This is the truth. Before the establishment of Izala, there is the Christians and Muslims in northern Nigeria, their relation is like a twins brothers relation. They have to stop. You have to stop this Izala. Ladika, Ishia, all of those groups, you have to stop them. This is the fact.
You don't hear that so. But this pastor, he dey AC, he gets something to tell us about Christian genocide. Just listen to him.
For 40 years that I have been a Christian, there have been killings in southern Kaduna, killings on the plateau. There have been riots. Sometimes, I think it was in France, an image of Prophet Muhammad was defaced. Who remembers that? And as a result of that, there were killings of Christians in Nigeria. And so it's nothing new. It doesn't amount to genocide. The way the West are talking about it, it's as if a Christian steps on the street, his head will be blown off. And I'm trying to understand this sudden love for Christians. Is it because we now have one of the largest refineries in the world and no longer have to ship raw materials abroad and bring the finished products? Or is it because of the 21st century minerals that we now have in our earth that they use to generate nuclear power for electric vehicles? Are those the reasons that our friends are threatening to invade our country to defend and protect Nigerian Christians? Sheila.
You don't hear us so. Let's also listen to this pastor to show us the true mission of Trump.
There's been clamoring by America that they are killing Christians in Nigeria. Okay, it is not innocent. It is not innocent. When Goodluck Jonathan was in power, Nigeria needed to buy certain things to use in fighting that battle. The one who blocked us was America. We got machineries from a country, I don't want to mention that country, that was busy and they were having victories in Sambisa, all other places. The one who asked them to be sacked later was America. They are showing interest because they know that will divide the country. Then they can come in. Anywhere they step burns. Any country that is richer than, in terms of mineral resources, than any country in Africa, it is Venezuela. Anywhere there is wealth, burns. Be careful so that less they seem to be bringing help, but the idea is to penetrate and keep you bounded. There are countries that once they complain about your country, you are doing something right.
You also the AC for South. Okay? Make we listen to this pastor too. Let me say, he dey South Kaduna. He don't experience many things. Wait till he get to talk.
Because you are running out of time, I will save you and just go to the basic. One, I've listened to the other speakers. I've listened to the arguments they bring. I am not speaking from research or whatever. I'm speaking as a victim. I'm speaking as the pastor who buried the almost 2,000 people in 2000 in Kaduna. Quote me, my name is Reverend Hayab. I'm speaking as the pastor who also did the mass burial of the over 300 people of the Miss World Beauty pageant on the 23rd of November 2002. I'm also the pastor who came out publicly to denounce the Danish cartoon in 2006, but it later leads to the death of Christians in Maiduguri and death of Christians in Bauchi. So I have been around and I think I know this story. Listening, we are coining it into the politics of America as if we are not in Nigeria. And someone is saying that Atleti was used. Sincerely speaking, there has been killings of Christians in northern Nigeria before even the advent of Boko Haram. I was in Kano. I just left Kano with 1 week, and the killing of the visit of Reabonke happened. People were caught. You know, it's a different thing that you are shot to death. It's something else that you are caught to pieces, caught by the neck, caught hacked to death. I saw these cops. I had to run back. My pastor asked me, why did you come back? I said, no, I just left for Kaduna 1 week, and then I heard what happened to my people in places in Kano. I just came back. So it is something that has...
Sorry, sir, if I'm interrupting, what year are we talking about?
I'm taking you back.
Okay.
To tell you that I was available when the Bonke crisis happened in Kano. I was also there, not only there, but buried the mass people that were buried in 2000. I also buried the mass people that were buried in 2002. Then fast forward to 2006, I said I was the pastor who first came out to condemn the Danish cartoon because I knew what was going to follow. But despite that effort, Christians were killed in Maiduguri, Christians were killed in Bauchi for an offense they had no problem about. They knew nothing about. If I just move backward, what happened in 2002, many Christians in northern Nigeria, including Kaduna, don't even know the lady who wrote the article. But they ended up having their churches burned. They ended up having their pastors killed. They ended up having, precisely the Sunday before that violence, I had a guest preacher in my church, Reverend Nee preached in my church at Rahama English Baptist Church. You can Google it. I remember where you can Google that. And just a day after that, that man was burnt. His corpse was like that of a small baby. So when you put together all this, in Maiduguri in 2009, when Boko Haram started, they were never attacking Muslims. They actually went for the church because they said we are infidel. One among the early pastors that was killed was Pastor Oji. Pastor Oji was killed. When he saw he was going to die, he simply said, go and tell my brothers I die well. Pastor Osonibon was also Sylvester Osonibon, because I traveled with the corps to Ekot Ipene, and then Pastor Yakubu Bitrus, whose brother was then the medical director of the General Hospital in Maiduguri. So I got involved in these things more than the hair story. The Christian North have suffered killing. The Christian North have suffered so much in this thing that today culminates into genocide, as it has been called. So for anybody to say it does not exist and is bringing story of Boko Haram or recent happenings of bandits may not understand, because I've followed the conversation. Nobody is saying that the Christian North was just killed in 2002 or they were just killed in 2019. There has been a history. There has been certain pattern. There has been certain development. But let me come back to the last 6 years. I am this same pastor who came out severally on this medium and other medium to cry when I was bearing 30, 20, 40, and many other numbers. And why were those people killed? The story they always want to tell is that no, it is a farmer's herders. I'm above 56. I know the difference between a farmer's and herders conflict, and I know the difference between someone coming to exterminate or eliminate a certain group of people. Because farmers, as we knew, simply had little misunderstanding with herders, and the herders will come either to the police station or to the traditional ruler or community leader, and such issue will be discussed, and they will now ask for reconciliation and possibly ask for little payment of damages. But we have a situation where innocent women are sleeping in their sleep with their children, with their husband, and people will come to their community, chant religious slogans, set their houses ablaze, shoot them and cut off their necks, and do not stop there, also burn their religious places. And you still want me to say, no, it is just a communal clash, because that's the kind of farmers had that clashes. And that's why today we are hiding under those things to argue about that. I looked at the issue of statistics and I just wonder, if you sit there, just Google, you will see in the Wikipedia, the number of churches that document is giving you that the churches in Nigeria are just 16,000 something. And you and I know that is not true. I am a pastor of the Baptist Church. The Nigerian Baptist Convention, just Nigerian Baptist Convention, we have over 11,200 registered churches. We never bring Redeemed into it. You never bring Anglican into it. No Catholic into it. No Methodist into it. No Living Faith into it. So some documents and figures that we have been seeing are quite interesting, but just tell us that there is even to us a conspiracy of silence or a conspiracy of twisting a situation. I see what is happening and as an opportunity for us to stop the killing of our fellow citizens just because of their identity.
You don't also hear am so. Okay? Make we check this man. Now, pastor, where they the feed in the village, what you see with the kuro eye.
Missionary, and I live in Roof. Roof is close to Bwai, and the surrounding villages around. They are within my district. And actually what happened is that there was a serious attack from the Fulani, let me put it that way, who came in the night and stormed the village called Kubat, where over 30 people, men and women, young and children, were killed. And as of yesterday, around Murisht, Jwak, and other villages around. Yesterday, there was a serious attack, even on our way going there to see all that was happening. In fact, we were trying to reach to Kubat, where they killed 30 people. In fact, the Fulanis raised ambush on us. We had to be scrolling on the ground under the flying bullets, and God in his own way, we were all safe. And the villages around, most villages, virtually every houses were set ablaze. And all their grains were all burned. Houses were burned, properties were destroyed. There was looting, we saw them. We even saw the machineries, the attackers in their hundreds, their thousands. You know, and they were open fire, exchanging fire with the military that were around. And this morning, we were trying to bury 29 people that were killed in Funzai. And immediately after we finished, we wanted to proceed to Kubon, the Kubat, where they were doing another burial. And there was a security alert. The security that were around said, no, we can't go there. And they were asking people to leave, and we were running. Right now, men and women, you can see the police, they are also getting out of the place. You know, the situation is bad, the situation is terrible. I just don't know, Looking at the attack, one will say, this is a well planting, it's a long planting, well coordinated, and they have achieved.
You don't also hear am so. Make we see this young man, formerly a Muslim, now a Christian. He is also a Fulani. Hear the cry where they cry.
Let Christians come out and speak about the genocide of believers that is going on until people heard about our voices, until our voice reached where it's supposed to reach. That's what I'm saying. A lot of our big pastors, what they know is to go there and be speaking big grammar, wearing big clothes, wearing fine clothes, driving exotic cars, passing around with securities. This is Reverend Dr. So is the one that passing. And then people out there in the villages that have been massacred on daily basis, nothing concerned with those places. Like I've tell you, if I keep remembering the village that we went, where I keep stumbling on human skulls that were massacred in that place. I cannot be able to get this thing off my head since that day. Anytime that I remember this thing, anytime that I remember this thing, I will definitely shed tears within me. If I think you see what I witnessed, I think our Christian leaders, if you do not come out and speak about against these things, wait for the day of the judgment. God will definitely judge you for that. A lot of people refuse to do that, like I've said earlier, because of their selfish interests. A lot of people refuse to come out to talk about this because of their selfish interest. A lot of people refuse to come out and talk about this because they are thinking of how they can reach their pocket. How they can enrich their pocket. Is it no money? You want to gather money for yourself, right? You want to build a mansion for yourself, right? You want to be driving exotic cars for yourself, right? When your time is up here on earth, carry all those mansions and all those cars and all the money you gather. Go with it, let's see. Go with it, let's see. Go with it, let's see. A lot of our Christian leaders are supposed to come out and speak against the genocide of our brothers and sisters in the rural villages that are going. They decided to keep silent just because of their selfish interest, because of because of what they were going to get. God will definitely judge you. Wicked people everywhere, feeding on religion at the expense of lives. It's all right. It's all right. And to all of you threatening my life, saying that we will track you, will know where I will come and kill you. Come and kill me. Come and kill me. I'm ready to go. Come and kill me. I'm ready to go. The only thing that I know here is this. If you kill my mortal body, you can never touch the spirit. You don't have any right to touch my spirit. It is only God that have the right to touch my spirit. My Bible did not tell me to fear those one who can kill only my body. Yes, that's it. The Bible did not tell me to afraid for those who can kill only my body. What the Bible tell me is to afraid of that one who can kill my body and kill my spirit. When you kill me, so what? If you kill me, so what?
You don't hear us so. Let's listen to this pastor. He did not. Now not the minister. Listen to him.
You are a pastor or any man of God and you have nothing reasonable to say to all that is happening in Nigeria. Just shut up. Just shut it. Just shut up. After all, that is what most of you do. You don't say anything. Thousands will be killed. Hundreds have been killed. As far as your offering and tithes keep getting intact and all those things, it doesn't concern you. Just shut up. Stop embarrassing people. Stop embarrassing the genuine men of God in this nation. Stop embarrassing them. Just shut up. People have been killed. Lives have been destroyed daily. Not one of you. You don't speak anything. You don't say a thing. You don't say a thing. You don't even bother. And when people that are genuinely speaking for the cause of the people are speaking and you come outside, you begin to bring propaganda. Just shut up. Many of you are bigoted. Go and check. Many of you are bigoted. Bigotry has eaten you up. And the most annoying part is the fact that you come and be saying, God spoke to me. God spoke to me. God spoke to you that President Trump want to come and save Nigeria because you want to collect the resources in Nigeria. He wants to collect your mineral, your gold, and your oil. That's what God told you. You are a dishonest person. Why have we come to this level? In the scriptures, if you go through the Bible, the men of God, the prophet of God, were known to speak against injustice, to speak against wickedness, but not in these days. Just shut up. You don't have anything reasonable to say. Shut it. What nonsense? What are we doing to ourselves in this nation? When God will save it, how many of you don't know how many years people have been praying? All the killings, the genocide. You come out as a man of God say there is no genocide in this nation against Christian faith. You are a wicked soul. You are a wicked entity. To come out and say there is no genocide, say let's keep genocide aside. Forget about issue of genocide. You are a wicked soul. Just shut up. Many of you have no idea. I've lived in the north. I'm still in the north, serving in the north, leading God's people here in the north. Many of you have no idea whatsoever. You're in the south there, enjoy your AC churches and all that. That's fine. But if you don't have any reasonable contribution to make, just shut up and stop gaslighting people. For as long as I can remember, Christians have always been at the receiving end of anything in this country. There is insecurity, truly. But we all know that this insecurity is created by people that are milking the nation, mining resources, partnering with China with the Chinese to mine resources, and they're taking them abroad, taking them away from this nation, and they arm this bandit to secure them, so as a means of distraction. So while the activity of mining is going on, so to prevent the military men or the Nigerians to focus on them, they created insecurity, and so while you are focused on insecurity and all the killings and kidnapping, you will not even bother to check their activity, and that is the plan. And that's how they keep taking resources away from this nation. You know that. The government of there are people that know that this is not a hidden thing. They arm these bandits for the essence of distraction, to distract people. That is there. But we all know that there is a systematic jihadi agenda and Islamization against Nigeria.
And you say Nigeria is a secular nation. How is a secular nation a member of an Islamic organization of the world or something? An Islamic organization, a world Islamic organization. Why will a secular nation be a member of a world Islamic organization? Why will a secular nation that is called a secular nation be practicing Sharia in some part of the state? Why will a secular nation have the description of the Nigerian military to be in Arabic, not in English that everybody understand? You all are there, you are so dumb. You are there, you are following them to spread propaganda, to spread lies. This has been going on for years. We know it, you all know it. I was born and brought up in Kaduna. I live in Kaduna, I live in Jos. We have seen all these attacks consistently. In Benue, in Kaduna, in Jos, in part of Nasarawa, in Taraba. Consistently. Christian communities have been born, churches have been born. Every time somebody insulted Mohammed in France, the next thing is a church in Kaduna or in Jos that is being born. We all know this. It's been going on for years. And you come out to say, forget about that Trump is only interested in the resources of Nigeria. You just shut up. Shut it. You don't have anything to say. Just keep quiet. That for you to come and speak trash, embarrassing genuine men of God. As far as we know, most of you don't talk. Let the church, let the northern Christians be killed. Let them be killed in their scores in their country. It doesn't concern you. You keep going about your normal business. You don't talk. You don't bother. And that's it. Keep it that way. God will hold you accountable for that. But for you to come and counter or try to ridicule people that are speaking against this, that are fighting for the true cause of the genocide of Christians. Just 2 days ago, in a community in Benue, look how they massacre children, babies sleeping, and they massacre them. But you will not speak up. Not once have you come out to speak against the killings. But you are always quick to come and debunk when people are speaking, when people are trying to speak for the truth. If you don't have anything as a man of God, speaking to men of God this morning, if you don't have anything to say, just keep quiet, zip it. We thank God for the lives of Reverend Ezekiel. That man is a true apostle of Jesus Christ. We see what God, we see how the man has been fighting constantly. You could have left them. You could have left that community, but he's there fighting for people. You don't care. They don't have AC churches. They don't have big jeeps. They don't bother. They keep serving Jesus. You are there in your estate, in your cozy churches, and don't bother. Continue. You keep organizing programs and this, and keep breaking limits. That's your problem. No problem. But for those that are speaking against the injustice in Nigeria, let them speak. Don't silence them. Don't try to mock people's pain. Just shut up. You don't have anything to say. Shut it. How do we find ourselves here in this situation where we cannot speak truth to the power? That we cannot come out and speak, confront the government on what they are doing. But God is raising a Cyrus for us, all the way from America, to come and fight the cause. The man never said he's coming to destroy the government or to overturn topple the government. He didn't say he was coming to fight Muslim or to kill Muslim. He said, I'm coming to kill terrorists, specializing the terrorists that are killing Christians. And you are fighting it, and you are speaking up to say he's interested in your resources. You are speaking out to say he's interested in your resources. Trump is interested in your resources. He's interested in your gold and silver that the Chinese have been taken away. And you think that is all what this. People were crying. It was the crowd of people that got the attention of this man. You act as if you don't know. But because it is your kinsman, I'm a Yoruba man too. But I will never be a bigot. I will never be a bigot. I hate bigotry. I hate bigotry. For that is my person, it's my tribe. Because most of you are benefiting directly from the corruption of this government. You're a man of God, you don't have anything to say. Shut up. Shut up. Don't mock people's pain. Don't ridicule people that are speaking up. Don't come and tell us that there is no genocide. I accept you want the wrath of God to come upon you. Let we that are speaking, we will continue to speak. We thank God for the lives of Prophet Ebuba. We thank God for the life of Dr. Paul. We thank God for the lives of Reverend Ezekiel. Reverend Ezekiel Dochemo in Jos. We thank God for those that are speaking. But you that don't speak, keep quiet. If you cannot speak anything reasonable, don't come and mock people's pain to say there is no genocide. I am Apostle Michael Olo, okay? And I will never be silent anymore. Because while you are being silent, while you are trying to hide under the protection of the government or try to get favor, people like Gumi, people like Sheikh Gumi are begging Nigerians to pamper terrorists. No, don't kill them. Don't shoot at them. Don't bomb them. Give them amnesty. Negotiate with them. Which nation in the world will negotiate with terrorists? But why the Islamic clerics are fighting? We saw. I have a document here. The minute of a meeting held about in the year 2010, where they were planning strategically of how to execute jihad in Jos, Bauchi, and Kaduna, headed by Isa Pantami, the former Minister of Information and Communication under Buhari's government. These men are deep. They're strategic. The thing has been going on. They're working tirelessly to achieve it. You are there in your church in the south, and you can spew rubbish. Shut up. You don't have anything to say. Shut it.
You don't also hear Amabi? Okay. Now we listen to this political analyst, a Muslim, what he has to say concerning Christian genocide. Whether if there is genocide or no genocide.
In fact, in 2014, Nigerian opposition party, then the APC, were in the White House seeking for the same help on the same Christian genocide as a fallout of the Chibok girls. This is established. The second thing again is that even most recently, we acquired $346 million worth of weaponry from the US, and we are trying to send our military personnel to go and train as a factor of diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and the US. And US has been consistently, in addition to other partners, listed as supporting countries to help us in eradication of terrorism. And don't forget, it is a United Nations Convention on Counterterrorism that empowers the United States to become the global front or focal point in fighting against terrorism. And wherever a word terrorism was defined in a given area, that means US have right to protect. They call it the responsibility to protect R2P. They have right to invoke that R2P to get into that country and destroy that terrorism. Yeah. So what we should show in our own case in Nigeria is that we should show commitment and willingness to partner to eliminate the threat of terrorism, not completely condemn a hand that is coming to help us and then put a motion forward. We can negotiate with them. We can tell them, give us the weapons responsibly. We can discuss with them and acknowledge that this genocide is taking place. Yes, they say Christian genocide. Now we can justify to them that, look, it's not only genocide, it's not only Christians, Muslims also are affected.
But do you agree with the categorization that it's a genocide?
I actually, when I look at the damages, when you look at the total number of the people that have been killed over time in Nigeria, and they are killed defenseless in villages, sleeping in their homes, then what can you call this, for God's sake?
You think it's a genocide?
I think it's actually pure genocide, because you just come and kill people, just like that. And this thing has been happening. Several villages in Katsina destroyed. Several villages in Sokoto gone. Several villages in Zamfara every day.
You don't hear us. So what do you think? Drop off a comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.